Traders, we are on day 12 of the small account challenge, sitting a little bit under $1,000 yesterday. Not so fun. I hate losing. Not a fun day. And today's going to be interesting because for some reason, the school my kids go to is on a 2-hour delay. So I'm going to be dropping them off like right at the bell and getting back right around 10 o'clock. So it's 8:45 right now. I'm flipping through some tickers to develop a plan. Patience, spelled with a P-A-Y, usually does pay. So maybe today, I'm thinking when we get back, if some of these tickers haven't quite faded like they didn't yesterday, airy, which is still killing me on the inside, with a sell-off, U-shape, breakout, fake-out, breakout, and then continual fade. Sometimes they do that. Maybe I'll come back and see something like that today that I can get involved with that's close to risk, close to that resistance that we like to be near to, and then we can get an entry on it and fade it throughout the day. Let me take you guys into the computer. I'll show you what I'm watching right now, and then fingers crossed the stars align when we get back later. Daddy's morning routine is sipping on coffee and flipping through charts. That's all I need to get my batteries recharged for the day. Now, what are some of those charts? I've been flipping through it. Well, my watch list is down here below. I have it also additionally on another monitor that I go through when I'm preparing this morning watch list. Now, if you guys want to set up your thinkorswim scanners like I do, I'll show you something real quick. This is my overbought short sale watch list. So this is what I flip through in the mornings. It filters out just pretty much the hangover plays and setups I'm looking for. Obviously, I narrow it in from there, but I have a video on my thinkorswim scanners. If you guys want, I can link it below. So you guys can set up your scanners as well to really make you guys the chart master 5000. That's what I'm all about here. Now, I'm more interested in the psychology behind trading. I focused fundamentals when I first started in 2016, and then I got to the point where fundamentals were fun-dumb-mentals. They really didn't matter as much, and the old adage goes, buy the rumor, sell the news. So when the good news typically does come out is when the stock is selling off anyways, and you're like, man, that doesn't make any sense at all. They came out with phase 3 positive trials. Typically, the move has already been vexed into the play, and tickers do gravitate towards their intrinsic value over time, but when we're focused more on the intraday moves, not necessarily the swing trades, a lot can happen. So APLD, this one, I look at the daily, which is a monitor above. I highly suggest that. It popped right up towards that 10-20. 20-cent area is a magic number. I've gone over this for many years. Stocks that move very quickly up, the faster the move, the weaker the trend. That normally these tickers do a liquidity sweep over the whole dollar. A lot of people place stops over the whole dollar. I've seen these time and time again. They will wipe stop orders out, have a big upper shadow like it did here up towards 10-20. 20-cent area is magic. Remember that. You guys will start seeing it a lot. I got a whole folder of those as well. We can do a video on that one of these days. I'm going to start doing more Friday night live streams so we can review the week and talk about things that we can all work on. So stay tuned for that as well. But a lot of upper shadows up towards 10-20. This one has had 2 legs on up. I'm looking for it to fade. I like a short on this, risk in that 10-20 area. If it does break and continue higher, it happens. Guys, you saw that yesterday with Airy. Pull that up. ARRY. This one, aggravating. I mean, it flushed out the gates. Look, day 2, leg on up. We got involved in this early on, $7 risk. My red line, price line right there was the risk. So I had to stop out of it. It did a fake out, breakout kind of over it towards that magic 20-cent area and faded all day from there. Of course, anything can happen. I'm very happy with the stops yesterday. I was just more frustrated with what resulted with these tickers, but you can't learn the wrong lessons. I can't be like, okay, well, next time I'm not going to stop out because it'll eventually work out. You can't do that. So that's why I was ultimately happy with yesterday. That was APLD. KD, 3 legs on up. This one we could risk the previous high, 39.47. We'll see how that opens on up. CPRI, similar story, risking previous high, previous close. I will share something with you guys. This PCL line, the yellow line, previous close, you can script that in your thinkorswim. I have a video on that as well. If there's interest, I'll link it below. Look how it respects it. That's a natural area of support or resistance, but you even see it yesterday in pre-market. The stock respected that level, and this morning so far, the stock has respected that level as well, holding on up as support. It's a natural area. When we're above that, we're somewhat bullish. I like to short some of these tickers that are below that in the morning. I'll show you guys an example, like CIFR, which I took an L on yesterday. And this one was $6 resistance. Of course, I get in a little early. It flushes. I wanted the continual flush. It didn't. It came right back up to resistance. I'm getting into these a little early. We'll see if they set up today, since I'll be getting in a little bit later. But this one's below that 585 previous close, which is a great area to risk off of. You're really tight on that. It's about 9-cent risk for a good fade on this, like 20, 30, 40 cents and leftovers to fade. Great opportunity there. CPRI, looking for this against the previous highs. All of the charts look fairly similar. I'm watching. I filter them all out to the best hangover setups, which have the most variables to make the stars align, like an overbought daily chart, or it's popping up towards resistance on the daily. Maybe it's hitting 200 or 50-day moving averages, and it's also closing below that previous close line. There was another one I was looking at yesterday, GVO. See, this is exactly what we're looking for. I didn't have shorts for this, but this had 2 legs on up. This happened yesterday. I was watching it for a short. We kind of opened up a little weak. We were right at $3 resistance, and we flushed and faded throughout the day. That's what we wanted. On CIFR, it didn't happen. The CIFR flushed and then U-shaped, big red to green move, and broke on out. Probably 70% of the time, these things will look like GVO. And those are the money-making trade. It is what it is. I'm happy with how I traded. I'm definitely respecting risk, which is what you have to do. Focus losers. Don't focus on profit, focus on your losers. The market is going to do whatever the market wants to do, and it's always right. What we have to worry about is our response to the market. Trades, I wanted to let you guys know where I'm at right now. It's approaching 9 o'clock. I got to take them to school. I'll be back around 10, so it's going to be a little later when I get to trading. We'll see if anything develops for a high probability setup and take it from there. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Traders, I am back. It's 10 o'clock now, so let's review some of these tickers. CIFR dumping right now. ASPN, hangover, dumping as well. CPRI as well. APLD, probably the favorite one this morning, has been dumping too. And KD dumping. All the hangover plays dumping today. We missed them. Okay. Wonderful. So here's APLD we had talked about in pre-market for a potential pop-up towards 1020. It got right up there near it for a solid entry, and that has been a great move so far. Man, this is exactly what we look for, guys. So a pop-up towards resistance forms a little bit of a symmetrical triangle here, ends up cracking that and going lower. What a beautiful, beautiful play. KD risking off of yesterday's highs as well. Little pop, $39.30. Now it's at $37, $38. That one's looking fairly similar. Buy is cracking. That's probably resulting in a lot of this right now. This is a great day, it looks like, so far for the short side. CIFR, a similar kind of pattern here on that symmetrical triangle for that snap. So Fubo is interesting. This one could be a potential short. I know Fubo and Disney came out with that deal, so they got a deal going on there. APLD, I still like this. Looking at the 5-day chart, I mean, we do have room for this to continue selling on off APLD for the fade, but man, we are way off of that 1020 risk. Kind of need it to pop up. I got some support mapped out right now, 960, that I was trying to respect. If we could get this closer up towards VWAP for a short, the last thing I want to do is short near the lows here, and then these things start turning around. The market turns around, does a U-shaped pattern. I mean, Fubo is clearly overbought. There's a lot of volume here, though. This is more of a manipulated kind of play, so that might be difficult to get involved with. You know, obviously, if we had been here at the bell, we would be green on anything we would have taken a short position on. What a day to miss the open, because everything is shortable. This is exactly what I wanted CIFR to do yesterday, the sell-off like we had, and then just the fade, rather than a sell-off, red to green move, and continuation higher. APLD I do like, so I'm trying to figure out if we can get involved with it. We do have that nice 1020 resistance we had marked off, and we're way off of it. Fubo just has way too much volume on it, if that makes sense. I typically like to trade the quieter names that are just easy fades. Well, it's hard not to be aggravated by this. Oh, this is painful. My God. I'm almost certain I would have been an APLD against 1020. I mean, I'm considering longing one of these things. They're dumping so much. APLD, anything up and over like 960 I would like to hit. I'm going to be so PO'd if I stab at something today after missing the market open and I'm red on today, when it's so far been impossible to be red on today. on the short side. CIFR, the one we traded yesterday, just a landslide. Probably going to try a stab at Fubo with a 620 risk. I know it has good news. I don't trade news. Stab at it, 100 shares, got it 596. 620 is a little high for that risk. You know, if it starts popping up into the 610s, I'll probably stop out of it. I shouldn't be trading right now. I'm like highly irritated. I think we're forming a little bit of a bear flag. I might be seeing a mirage, who knows. A lot of longs getting into this name, anticipating just the news, the hype. It's made a large move very quick. When you make a fast move like that, it tends to at least come back a little bit before gravitating towards that intrinsic value. Sitting a little heavy at $6. See what it does on this pullback. If it holds up and over 6, I'll stop out of it. I'll keep it tight today. I want it to start selling off here. APLD may give us an entry too if it keeps popping back up. Coming down to this bottom trend line. Looks like it's cracking it a little bit. Taking half off, and we'll try to let this rest ride, and the stop is going to be at my average price, $5.96. Still looks good, but it just got balled up. That was a nice drop trying to crack that trend line, and now it's back up to the trend line. So that's not entirely good for us. Yeah, it looks like it's going to respect that level. This looks like one of those plays where you're shorting it above VWAP and you're buying it below VWAP, if that makes sense. Like anytime this one gets down towards the VWAP, it's a buy under it, which of course is contrary to what typically happens. Usually things above VWAP are more bullish, but every ticker has its own personality and we got to understand that. I would love to just get to Q on the day. It's really all I would like. Yeah, she's getting balled up right there. I'll get out the rest of it, filled the rest of it as she's popping up towards my average and beyond. Traders, the CIFR and the APLD are killing me right now. I mean, absolutely killing me. Still, orders are getting absorbed. These lower shadows are good for the bulls. Volume is getting weaker on this name, though. Look at even yesterday when this thing went below VWAP. That's when it became a long. Very interesting. Just wow, CIFR. I mean, just wow. I don't even know what else to say. Other than I'm going to scoop it up. 5-cent risk. Order filled, 521. Giving it to 515. Let's see if some shorts can cover their positions to get a little pop on this. 20 cents is usually a magic number here. We're going to do a roughly 10-cent reward. So 530, exit, 515 the risk, which we can set an OCO order on it. 515 the risk, 530 the reward. Order placed. Why am I doing this, you ask? Well, I can't short this, and I suppose it's given so much back, hoping to get a little dead cat bounce on it for some shorts to cover their positions, the people in it that I wish I could have joined. So we can try to struggle to hit Q since we were a little late to these hangovers this morning. All right, order filled, we got out. CIFR, we caught that here down at the bottom. I noticed it stabilizing. I thought it'd be a good risk reward. It is starting to pop up a little bit. As long as we can keep our... Whoa, APLD, goodness gracious. Look at that move. We might can short APLD now. Let's sell short, but like 75 shares, order filled, right up to prior support resistance and VWAP, so this is a decent short. I don't really want it to hold up and over this resistance and VWAP. I'm going to hit it again. This previous close line, 980, is popping up quickly too. I'm going to hit it again, putting an order out. 977 filled, so my average share price 175 shares, 970, holding up and over 980. I'll be out of it. Look at this move. What in the world? 920, that magic number, all the way back up towards 980 previous close. Fairly unbelievable move there without any kind of profit taking at all. This thing's been just straight up. It's holding up here pretty well for the last few minutes. There's a little pullback we were wanting. See if she can stay under 970. We have a decent sized position here, hitting it again up towards resistance. Hit the resistance beautifully. We're going to get all out since we hit Q on the day. I don't want to be greedy. And today I feel like I have been clawing for profits. You know, the start of the day had me highly emotional. Traders, I know I got away from the hangover a bit today. A lot of bit. The risk was tight on everything. Typically, I'm really only going to trade the hangover. I want to be disciplined in that approach. I missed all those trades today though, and so I tried to scrape and claw for hitting quota on some other trades, Ended up getting there. We're not going to be doing that every day. Why not, you may ask, when we can hit quota doing it? Because in the past, I've really over-traded, and I'm trying to eliminate myself wanting to over-trade. I really want to try not to, because imagine if today had been red. I would have been sitting here trying to find more and more tickers to trade, and I would have been just probably digging myself deeper and deeper in a hole. That's not what we want to do. Want to focus on strictly trading the edge and the setup and not over-trading, not revenge trading. I think just when you start trading a lot, you get away from your edge, you start trading emotionally, you really want to avoid all that noise. So today, missed out on probably a huge green day. We still hit Q on the day, so I'm going to be happy about that. What we did trade, we kept a tight risk, tight stop on everything. We tried to let some of these winners work for us, but it was difficult. Not a lot was really working out. I mean, CIFR probably could have let that on the long side work out a little bit more. If we keep our losses to a minimum and maximize our winning trades, I think that's what I'm trying to teach to myself and teach you guys. Don't just get tunneled in on one ticker, on one trade, on one pattern. You gotta kind of diversify your mental capacity so that you don't get so laser focused on one thing and that one thing has to work. I personally tend to trade better and with a clearer mindset when I'm in a few different tickers. I see one red, two green, okay, I get rid of red. If I'm only in one and I see red, I'm like, okay, well, let me figure out how to turn that one into a green trade. No. Maybe we should just figure out how to be green. Traders, that's going to wrap up today. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow.